special nights here at the King's Hall in Belfast. Well, this turned out to be a very, very special night. 4,000 fans here for Prizefighter, the Irish middleweights. And don't forget, Paul McCloskey, Demarcus, Corley still to come on this terrific night of boxing. Who will face Eamon O'Kane in the final? Will it be McDonagh, reigning Irish super middleweight champion, points winner over Darren Cruz last time? He's a 3-1 on favourite in this one. Taking on Joe Ray if he meets Eamon O'Kane in the final. He's already lost over 8 rounds to O'Kane last September. Will he be on a revenge mission? The bookies don't think so. 11-4 outsider. Our MC, John McDonagh.
Ladies and gentlemen, who meets King O'Kane in the final? We are about to find out. This is semi-final number 2, and introducing to you firstly, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the gold trunks, weighing 11 stones, 7 pounds 10 ounces, taking part in his 17th professional contest from Ballymena, where he is known as Sugar Joe Ray. And across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks, trimmed with white, weighing in at 11 stones, 6 pounds 12 ounces. 8 fight record, 7 wins, 4 inside the scheduled distance, and just 1 defeat. He is the reigning Irish super middleweight champion from Mullingar, JJ McDonagh. Time to ring the bell is Darren Elliott, and our referee in charge of the action is Mr. Howard Foster. This is 3-minute rounds, semi-final number 2.
Okay lads, we know the rules. Keep it clean, break straight away when told. Both watch your heads. Good luck to you both. Touch gloves. Good luck lads.
So this for the right to meet Eamon O'Kane in the Prizefighter final. JJ McDonagh, who cruised through, excuse the pun, against Darren Cruz in his quarter-final. He just wasn't out of first gear, didn't need to be. Joe Ray got through against Simon O'Donnell. The fella in the yellow trunks and the white trim was blowing pretty hard, and this is a guy who's always had questions about his fitness, and as the 4th man, or in the 4th quarter-final, he's had the shortest recovery time as well, Ray, so it'll be interesting to see whether McDonagh will want to try and step it up and set a fast tempo. It doesn't seem to be at the moment. He seems to be happy to work behind that big, long right jab of his.
Well, McDonagh's the one who's produced a little bit of class and quality tonight in his boxing, used his southpaw skills nicely to get into the semi-finals there. He's just using as I'm speaking. But Ray, in his quarter-final, produced some good work in little bursts, which might be good tactics against this smooth-moving southpaw, just to break his rhythm up. So I suppose it's going to be a case of who can impose their style on the other. But McDonagh, the obvious favourite.
Interesting to see that Ray is switching in and out of southpaw and orthodox, just as he did against Simon O'Donnell in his quarter-final.
I think McDonagh's trying to frustrate Ray. He's making him miss a couple of times. He's not trying to counter everything, which is smart. Just make an opponent miss once or twice, and maybe every 3rd time then come back with a counter. So again, nice boxing from McDonagh, nice tight defence there as well.
He got through earlier with the right to the body, Ray. He didn't get through with that one. Blocked by the elbow.
Break some boxing! Some boxing!
See, that's his plan. He's making Ray fall short, frustrating him, probably cause him to lose his cool, take some chances, become reckless, and then punish him. So a nice, thoughtful boxing at the moment from McDonagh.
Right, switching stance again. Just getting tagged. Ray not having too much success here in this first round, again out of range. He's a very difficult man to target, JJ McDonagh. He's tall, he's a southpaw, and his defensive skills are very sound.
You know, he uses the range perfectly. He knows just that little half step back, and Ray's punches will fall short. Picking his time when to counter. Just frustrating tactics, but real thoughtful boxing.
He was a self-confessed slow starter. Didn't exactly go off like an express train against Simon O'Donnell, and he's certainly pacing himself here. I wonder if he'll step it up a little bit in the second round, because that was a pedestrian opening session and he couldn't make much of a case for Joe Ray. McDonagh, as he was in his quarter-final, just totally comfortable and relaxed.
Very. Come on. What do we miss you? Come on. No, why? Listen. Now, hey. Now you give up the fortune because he didn't throw much punches.
When you're in your orthodox position, stay away from his back left hand.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
He's trying to lure you onto it.
Yeah.
Do not get suckered into that, all right? The lower you go, the better. Low and come out big. Other than that, stay relaxed, mate, okay? And we're going to do this, yeah? Good lad, okay? Make him miss, make him pay, okay? Nice and low.
Well, no signs of panic in the
Feel
corner,
good?
but I thought he lost the opening round. And I think he has to kind of take it to McDonagh a little bit more than he did in the opener.
Seconds out, round 2.
Round 2, Joe Ray was able to turn things around against Simon O'Donnell in his quarter-final in the second round. Let's see what he can do here against this real tricky, awkward opponent, JJ McDonagh.
So you think the way McDonagh boxes, like he's thinking about landing punches, but always part of his thinking is what's coming back. You know, so he's shrewd, he doesn't lead with his chin, doesn't do anything reckless. So for those reasons, he's difficult to pin down. This is good stuff from him at the moment, a bit more aggression.
Yeah, and throwing combinations as well, because Ray managed to slip the first 2 of that, but the onslaught kept coming. The third punch was a real little beauty. Decent right hand.
It's the fact that he takes nothing in return, which is admirable. Well, just as I speak, that's Sod's Law, he just takes the left-hand lead. He's still boxing nicely, keeping everything under control.
Now Ray getting a warning for the low stuff. McDonagh doesn't seem to be remotely troubled by it. He's just taking a few seconds here. If he does get through this semi-final, if it carries on at this pace, McDonagh's going to be so fresh. Has been all guns blazing.
Come on, get him out, man. Stand it up. Break the back. Push the back straight away.
Well, Ray's just being neutralised here. Just can't seem to land anything cleanly.
Yeah, and when he does get close, McDonagh's quite good at nullifying.
Switch back into southpaw. Let's see if he can have any more success here, Ray. He was from the southpaw stance. He really had a good spell in the second round against O'Donnell, but it's not clicking for him here. And a nice little left hand from McDonagh. Stay engaged.
I think McDonagh's becoming more and more confident as this tournament goes along. You know, he's setting himself a lot more. You know, trying to put a bit more spite into his punches as well. So improving with the tournament, confidence growing. So if this continues, we're heading for a tasty final.
And a real collision of styles as well. But we've got to get there first. Joe Ray would have something to say about that. Just not throwing punches. That was almost a little bit better because he managed to slip the lead, but then cleverly McDonagh just turned the head and there was nowhere for Ray to go.
Yeah, Ray's making a miss now, but not coming back with counters. He needs to get more punches off if he wants to be winning this.
Well, you heard Kevin Marie, Joe Ray's trainer, with the old mantra, make him miss, make him pay. Well, as I say, he's making him miss, but not making him pay. There he is missing again, but nothing coming back from Ray. He's not able to find a counter. Well, there's not much drama here, but there's been plenty of drama with where this fellow's concerned. Eamon O'Kane is now getting some kind of laser treatment. It's all very scientific. They didn't do all this stuff in your day, Jim Watt.
I don't think lasers were invented in my day.
Apparently it rejuvenates and regenerates the muscle tissue or the soft tissue or something. Hey, it works.
Well, another cool, thoughtful, precise round of boxing from JJ McDonagh. Didn't make too many mistakes using that southpaw jab to full effect. That was one of the few counters he had to take. But just quite happy. He has everything under control, not doing anything silly, not taking any chances. I think Ray is the one who really has to change the tempo of this one.
Final round.
One round to go before we know who our prize fighter finalists are going to be. We know Eamon O'Kane is in there with his laser treatment. Is it going to be JJ McDonagh or Joe Ray joining him? This one just hasn't caught fire at all. Doing well with the evasive stuff. How many punches is he? 8 throwing and B landing. Just not a lot coming from the man from Ballymena.
I still like the fact that McDonagh has a bit more confidence in his boxing. You know, he's stepping in with the shots. Okay, he's struggling to find the target because Ray's becoming a little bit negative at times. But you know, you can see him setting himself, trying to put a bit more spite into the shots. Here he goes again. Difficult because of the tactics of Ray, but Ray not doing enough to be winning this, so I can't really work out what's in his mind. He knows he's not landing punches, so what is the point? Is he happy that he's reached the semi-final? I don't know.
Is he out of gas? Oh, that was a decent right hand landing from McDonagh. Yeah, there's more than one way to win prize fighter. It's not all about the crash bang wallop stuff. We saw Adelanwa last time out. Just proved to be a very difficult opponent to hit. Awkward, unorthodox. And there's a touch at the Adelanwas about JJ McDonagh, the way he's proving so difficult to get a clean shot on. It'll be interesting to see what O'Kane does. He'll probably just try and blast his way straight through, but he could find himself on the end of that long right jab all night.
Now we're seeing some good movement from McDonagh as well when Ray does try to launch some punches. So all round it's a good boxing performance, and I think the quality that we've seen tonight, most of it has come from McDonagh.
Through again. Looks like McDonagh has decided, you know what, we're in the last minute, let's just step it up a bit. I've got plenty in the tank. Let's make absolutely certain of this one.
Yeah, maybe showing they can have a tear up as well if that's required. That good stuff there from him.
Ray loves a tear up too. He's got less than 30 seconds to tear this one up. I think McDonagh might have decided, you know what, I've done enough. Just making sure he finishes on top. Ray never found the answer to this one. He switched in and out of orthodox and southpaw. It worked last time, but McDonagh was having none of it. And it's another one that this tall southpaw has really been in control of.
Yep, and looking at the body language, I think Ray pretty much knows in none of the 3 rounds did he do enough to keep himself in the picture. So JJ McDonagh with a nicely controlled 3 rounds of boxing, for me, goes through to the final.
And look at that, barely breathing hard, barely sweating up. I mean, it's in real contrast to Eamon O'Kane, who is a whirling dervish in his 2 fights. McDonagh very controlled, very disciplined, and yeah, Joe's body language isn't great, is it? I don't think he thinks he's won this one. He's just completely unruffled. Well, if it is McDonagh, it makes for a fascinating clash of styles in the final, doesn't it?
Yep, I think it's a terrific final. We thought in the opening contest, which was a cracker, that was what maybe we would have liked for the final. But I think on the performances tonight, I think O'Kane and McDonagh is the best final we could have hoped for. I think we're going to have a cracker.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. After 3 rounds of boxing in semi-final number 2, the judges score this: 29-28, 30-27, 30-27, and all 3 judges in favour of the winner. And through to the final, from Mullingar, JJ McDonagh. And let's show appreciation, please, for Sugar J.
Not even a smile from JJ McDonagh. He's got his business head on, makes his way back to the dressing room, preparing for the final against Eamon O'Kane. And he's deserved that victory. Some laser treatment going on behind the scenes for Eamon O'Kane. Apparently Lance Armstrong uses this between stages of the Tour de France, and it's been well tested. Whatever works for you, you've got to use it. But what about to this man, JJ McDonagh, and the performance? He hasn't really caught fire yet, waiting for the final.
I think he moved it up, as Jim said, each round, and each round of the prize fight, he said 6 rounds, but he just paced himself carefully. He took it easy in the first fight. He stepped it up because Reid, for whatever reason, decided to back up. He should have been fighting aggressively. He wasn't going to beat this guy backing up. He was outreached, he was outpunched, and JJ McDonagh was hurting him as well.
What did he do well there for you, Glenn?
Well, there's no great fireworks. There's nothing extra special. He's using his jab well. I think he's very thoughtful in his approach, and I think right from the beginning he thought it's about the final, and I think he's known that it's going to be O'Kane in the final, and that's where the big test is. It's what he's going to be like on the back foot. He's controlled the centre of the ring well. He's worked well behind his jab. He's done everything, pretty much as he pleases now. But throw the script up now because it's O'Kane, and he's going to make him fight.
And who's your money on for the victory?
My money's on tentatively on O'Kane. He's been a bit disappointed so far in the tournament. He's got to punch straight this time, put his punches together, back JJ McDonagh to the ropes, and it'll be a terrific final.
Okay, before we look ahead to the final itself, let's look ahead to a special series of programmes coming your way from the Sky Sports boxing team.
I'm a fighter who comes back stronger, better, fitter, more focused. I know I'm going to be a lot stronger in this fight than I was in the last fight.
The special thing about me is I don't have any weakness.
I was actually happy for Peterson because of where he came from and what he achieved.
We went from, a big family, living in a house, to living in shelters, to living on the streets.
You can never take away the fact that this man became world champion.
Whoever Lamont Peterson brings to the table, we're going to be ready for him.
I want him here to really shine in this fight.
This is my time to put things straight.
This is what makes me happy. Boxing is my life.
Champion in the streets, champion for the people, champion of boxing.
Will he remain champion? It's all part of a huge week for boxing on Sky Sports. Monday, May the 14th, we'll look back at the dramatic and controversial first encounter between Amir Khan and Lamont Peterson, and look ahead to the rematch in Vegas, 7 o'clock, Sky Sports 1 HD. Then there's 2 exclusive Behind the Ropes programmes. On Tuesday, we focus on Amir's journey, 7 o'clock on 1 HD. Same time Wednesday, May the 16th, it's the incredible Rocky Light tale of Lamont Peterson from the streets of the American capital to champion of the world. Ringside, May 17th, we'll have up-to-date news from the Nevada desert. That's 6 o'clock on 2 HD. Then the final countdown from Vegas and the Vegas Strip on Friday, the 18th of May, 7 o'clock on 1 HD. And the boxing itself kicks off 11 o'clock on Saturday, May the 19th, straight after the Champions League final with Chelsea. First up, huge heavyweight hope David Price against the gritty and confident Sam Sexton, all part of a mammoth fight card from Aintree. Followed by all the action from a cracking night in Vegas, topped off of course by the enticing rematch between Khan and Peterson. The fight we all want to see. Amir Khan's been desperate for this rematch. He's finally got it. Your thoughts?
All the controversy and the man in the hat and all of that sort of stuff. Too much talk. We want to see the rematch. It's going to happen. And I guess what? He's got to fight 25% better than he did the last time. keep the fight in the centre of the ring, keep his back off the ropes. But I think he can win it, and I think he can win it impressively. And if he does, Dave, that sets up all sorts of talk at the moment about a potential fight if Mayweather come through tonight as well.
What about Lamont Peterson, the street kid? You know, came up the hard way. He's a world champion. He won't want to lose that title. No way.
You know, he certainly won't. I mean, it's been so hard. He's done very little wrong in his career, Lamont Peterson. And, you know, he got the win over Khan. Khan, I think, has talked too much about it being a travesty of justice and all the rest of it. Yeah. He needs to have it in his mind that, you know, Peterson won. And Peterson's the champion now. And we know what a tough upbringing he's had, what a tough life. He's going to hang on to that with all he can. And I think it's going to be a much harder fight this time around for Amir Khan.
And I think it's a very similar fight. I don't think it's going to be an awful lot different than the first fight. As I say, Khan just got to have to fight much better.
Okay, let's talk prize fighter. Let's talk to the finalist, Ed Robinson, behind the scenes in the dressing rooms. Ed.
Well, Eamon looks very calm backstage. You haven't really been calm when you've been boxing. First of all, talk us through that laser treatment you've been getting backstage.
It's a bit of tissue repair. It's just getting the body functional back to where it needs to be and in a relaxed state before I get myself warmed up now to get ready for the fight.
So how fresh do you feel? You've had two quite decent bouts.
A tough first fight, and it took me a wee while to recover from it. Here now I was glad I had the time. Recovered now fully and put out a good performance there in the second fight and landed a good shot. So I'm ready to rock. I didn't think much out of me the second fight now, so I'm ready to rock for the final.
JJ McDonagh in the final. Obviously he's a tall southpaw and awkward.
Yeah, awkward, and looks like going to be difficult to find out. So we're going to go out, do what I do best, and hopefully that finds him.
Good luck in that. JJ McDonagh is just next door. We're going to go through and see if we can track him down. He's just through here, the two dressing rooms right next to each other. And JJ, if we can have a quick word with you, how are you feeling through to the final?
Good now, final, yeah. Feeling very fresh and strong for the final.
Eamon O'Kane was a very, very good amateur, wasn't he? Commonwealth Games gold medalist. What do you think of him?
He's good. All the lads here, I said it before, every one of the lads, there's no easy fight for anybody in them. And they all high respect for the whole lot of them, man. Eamon O'Kane is a great boxer, he's an amateur, and he's a good professional boxer, and the high respect for him, and let the best man win.
So how do you go about beating him? What are your tactics going to be? You've kind of, it seems like you've held something back a little bit in the first two bouts and just tried to control it as best you can.
Yeah, well, I'm that type of fighter, and I didn't really need to. I knew that I had the beatings of the two lads so far, so I'm going to keep it like that. And the same way with Eamon O'Kane, I'm just going to pick my shots with him, man. If I have to fight, I'm going to have to fight with him. If he's getting the better one way, I'm going to have a plan B for the next one.
Good luck in that.
Right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Access all areas on prize fighters. JJ McDonagh is a very laid-back character, and he's played a very wise game, hasn't he? Just taking it easy, building up towards the final.
He boxed very tactically. He's taken his time. He's been patient. He used his advantage, physical advantage. He's got great length. He's a southpaw, good feet too. Nice amateur boxer, and he's got a bit of power in that long left uppercut from the southpaw position. So Kane's got to be careful of that. But there's only one way Kane can beat this guy, and that's to walk him down, keep his hands high. But he's got to stop throwing that big looping right hand. Got to throw the straight right hand first, and then bring the left or the right hook in. And I absolutely no doubt if he hits JJ McDonagh on the chin with that right hook, he'll knock him out. But he's got to get close to him first and not walk into punches.
Kane has been in a couple of wars. He had a knockout in his semi-final. How will he be feeling going into this?
I think both these fighters believed that they were going to be in the final. They both in confidence. They both know what game plan they were going to use. And both game plans are very different. One is to be very attack-minded, and the other is to lay back and pick his punches. But now in the final, you know, it's a very different fight, and it's can McDonagh box on the back foot? We haven't seen that yet. He's going to have to, because O'Kane is going to push him. He's going to be wild. He's going to throw punches. So we're going to have to see a lot more from JJ McDonagh if he's going to win this.
The pace of this fight is going to be an awful lot different to what it's been so far for JJ McDonagh. The big question is, can he live it?
We'll find out the final not long away. Charlie Webster's out and about. Where are you, Charlie?
Yeah, there you go. Got Paddy Barnes with me. He's just qualified for London 2012, only last week as well. Congratulations. How's your experience in Beijing, where you got a bronze medal, going to Fairfield, London 2012, Paddy?
Thanks very much. I think going into London, I've 4 more years experience. I've already been in the Olympic Games and got a bronze, and this time I'm going for gold.
It's less than 100 days away, but we've got a matter here, Prizefighter, and you've just changed your shirt to King Kane. How well do you know Kane?
Eamon O'Kane, I've been friends with him for the last 7 years. He's been like a captain figure for it. I've always looked up to him 12, and he's just brilliant, and he's definitely on Prizefighter, so he's just, this is made for him.
Gonna win?
Obviously.
Thank you very much, Paddy, and good luck. All right, we've heard from Paddy. He thinks O'Kane's going to win. Let's go over to Dale. Dale, what do the punters think, and what does yourself, a betting expert, think? And tell us about the knockouts too.
Yeah, well, the punters want to be with O'Kane. Whirlwind there. At least he didn't have 3 long, tough rounds as he did in the quarter-final. But JJ McDonagh, be money for him as well. Outright, 1-2 O'Kane. You're looking at 6-4 McDonagh. But the KOs, of course, the first KO of the night, really proper one from O'Kane there. He's 9-2. McDonagh 5s for a KO. I don't think he doesn't look that style, does he? But on points, O'Kane is basically 8-11, 5-2 McDonagh. You take your pick. I'm sticking with the whirlwind O'Kane.
Thanks very much, Dale.
Okay, and who's going for. What about our guest ringside, a man who's lifted this trophy and a former world champion with Ed Robinson?
Well, Martin, first of all, who's your pick in the final?
I think you've got to go with O'Kane now. You know, he's been the standout one from when this competition started, and you know he's looking like the favourites in the final.
Well, and I suppose the thing is, we don't know whether JJ McDonagh's got more to give, because he seems to like he's held something back a little bit in the first 2 rounds. He's been in control, but not really exerted himself.
Yeah, the McDonagh does. It seems like he's holding back. You know, he's in the final line. I think O'Kane's going to be too much for him, too much pressure, and he'll get the job done.
You don't think McDonagh can step it up?
We thought he was going to step it up here, and he didn't do it in the semi-final, so maybe he is leaving it for the final. Maybe we'll see something special in the final, but I think O'Kane will be too much, so to say.
Right stoppage?
I think we'll go to points. Definitely points.
Points, Martin?
I don't know. You know, he's got a good style, O'Kane. I think if he puts it on him, I think he could stop him, but more likely points.
We'll find out next.
We will. 8 started, just 2 remain. What have they got left in the tank? It's Eamon O'Kane, it's JJ McDonagh, it's the final of Prizefighter, the Irish middleweight, and it's coming next.
Join me, David Attenborough, at Kew and discover the kingdom of plants. Witness a hidden realm in intimate detail, vivid colour and rich texture.
All we have to do now is to wait for the flowers to open.
Enter the spectacular Kingdom of Plants in 3D with me, David Attenborough, on Sky 3D.
Kingdom of Plants 3D with David Attenborough starts 26th May on Sky 3D and in 2D on Sky Atlantic HD.
The Sani Pass, Lesotho, one of the most treacherous mountain ranges on Earth. It's no place for second chances. With voice control and Bluetooth, you can focus on what's ahead without taking your hands off the wheel. And with seamless 2 to 4 wheel shift on the fly, so you don't have to stop when you're on the move, which means the Sani Pass, tamed. The all-new Ford Ranger. Ford, go further.
This month, get your eye test free when you spend £99. Vision Express, we'll see you right.
Now, not only DVDs direct to your door, but also thousands of movies and TV shows, streamed instantly to your games consoles, laptop and iPad. Love Film Instant. From just $4.99 a month, the love film you know just got even better.
New Bulmers number 17 with crushed red berries and lime rewards people who are up for new experiences.
Excuse me, my friend's band, they're playing in about an hour around the corner. Guys, are you guys busy? Take a chance. No? Yes! Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my friend's band, Plan B!
Bulmers, keeping things original since 1887.
How does my hair look then? What? I got it blow dried especially. And what about my outfit?
What are you talking about?
Oh, it's too sparkly, I knew it. I'm just so excited about this premiere.
What, premiere?
You know, with the Sky Movies pack, you get most of the year's biggest blockbusters. Anyway, you look great. I love the tux.
Oh, thanks.
Enjoy Sky Movies for just £8 extra a month. No one brings you movies like Sky Movies.
With over 500 casino games for PC, Mac, tablet and mobile, and £10 free when you join. Come to the home of casino, betway.com.
Right now at Tesco, a whole leg of lamb is half price. Finest Elfie potatoes are half price. Ben & Jerry's ice cream is half price. And that's just half the story. Tesco. Every little helps.
Loads of action still to come from the King's Hall here in Belfast. 4,000 expectant fans here tonight. On the way, Paul McCloskey against Demarcus Corley. Can Paul McCloskey get back into the world title mix? But before that, the final of Prizefighter. The Irish middleweight. Our MC is John McDonagh.
Ladies and gentlemen, the final of the Betfair Prizefighter. Don't settle for less. Let's welcome the finalists then. Please welcome firstly from Downgiven, Eamon King O'Hay.
Well, he's been the bully boy of Belfast tonight, hasn't he? Just bludgeoning and battering his way through two opponents to reach this Prizefighter final. The man with the rich pedigree as an amateur who boxed everyone. A Commonwealth Games gold medalist when he beat Anthony Ogogo of England in the final. And he met the likes of Andre Durrell, Andy Lee, James de Gale. The list goes on and on and on. Jean Pascal. But here in a Prizefighter ring, he's shown that it can be as rough and tough as any seasoned old sweat.
Well, he's reached the final tonight without showing anything like his true form, so maybe now he's in the final, maybe a little bit of strain will be lifted, and maybe we'll see a little bit of the class and quality that we know he's capable of, because I think that'll be required against JJ McDonagh, who is a man who has found and shown his best form tonight.
And ladies and gentlemen from Mullingar, please welcome JJ McDonagh.
And the question we have about the 26-year-old from Mullingar, this tall, rangy, trekky southpaw is, has he got another couple of gears to go through? We haven't seen him out of second gear so far. That's because he hasn't needed to get out of second gear. You get the sense he's going to at least have to find a reverse gear tonight if he wants to win Prizefighter, because you know that O'Kane is going to be hard charging and looking for him.
Yeah, but I think from the first round of his quarter-final up to the third round of his semi-final, I think his boxing has improved, his confidence has certainly improved, he's been setting himself a lot more, he's trying to put a bit more spite into the punching. I think he's good enough to win this tonight on boxing ability. He's going to have to punch a little bit harder to discourage O'Kane. O'Kane is going to charge forward. That's the way he's been boxing tonight. So McDonagh, if he has the snap on his punches to discourage the tactics of O'Kane, it's a great chance, but you have to say O'Kane is the favourite.
But the one thing McDonagh has going for him is that height. A full 4 inches he has over Eamon O'Kane. Can he keep him on the end of that long right southpaw jab? If he can, and if he can avoid the onrushing O'Kane, maybe he's got a chance to make the bookies look foolish, because he's a big underdog in this final.
Ladies and gentlemen, This is the final of the Betfair Prizefighter Series, coming to you in the middleweight division and brought to you by Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Sport in association with Betfair Don't Settle for Less, Lonsdale and SportsDirect.com. And a very warm welcome to our viewers joining us live and exclusive here on Sky Sports HD. This is Fight Night Live! All the officials that have made this possible are at ringside, all appointed by the British Boxing Board of Control and the Northern Ireland Council. Robert Smith, the General Secretary, John Williamson, the Chairman, Secretary John Campbell, Chief Inspector Hugh Russell, and our all-important inspectors Michael Madden, John Toner, Jim Gamble, Tony Nichol, Eddie Cassidy, Billy McCloskey. Our timekeeper is Dal Elliott, and our medical officers are Dr. Malek, Dr. Lindsay, Dr. Duffy, and Dr. Macy. Our three scoring judges: Howard Foster of Doncaster, Mark Green of Romford, and Mr. Ian John Lewis of Gillingham. The referee in charge of the action from Birmingham, Mr. Terry O'Connor. Well, the waiting's over. Here we go. Introducing to you firstly, he's fighting out of the red corner wearing the black trunks trimmed with white, weighing at 11 stone, 6 pounds, 12 ounces, 9-fight record. 8 wins, 4 inside the scheduled distance and 1 defeat. He comes to the ring as the reigning Irish super middleweight champion and the fighting pride of Molly, Ireland, JJ time to meet the Golden Boy. Introducing to you as he's fighting out of the low corner wearing the red trunks trimmed with gold, weighing in 11 stone, 6 pounds, 10 ounces. 6-5 record, 6 wins, 3 inside the scheduled distance. He brought home the Commonwealth gold medal. Ladies and gentlemen, from Doncaster, it's England, King So time to get the action underway, and this is the final of the Prizefighter Series in the middleweight division. 3 3-minute rounds, here we go.
You both know the rules, protect yourself at all times. When I say break on, straight away. Shake hands,
what a culture clash this is going to be. Eamon O'Kane, on the evidence that we've seen tonight, has one strategy for Prizefighter. That is come out with all guns blazing, and this fella has been very smart and shrewd. JJ McDonagh. Which one of these tactics is going to prevail tonight in the final? And big money at stake as well for two relative novices to the pro game. A purse of £32,000. That's big money.
Well, O'Kane starting pretty much the way he started his 2 previous fights tonight. Forehead down low, marching forward, not an awful lot of thought to what he's doing, but just letting the punches go. So this one's going to be lively and exciting, if nothing else.
McDonagh just managed to shoot in a little left to the ribs there as O'Kane flew and hurled himself in. And he blocked those shots well as well, McDonagh. As O'Kane, as you say, he's just boring forward, really.
I think what McDonagh should do is the first minute of each of the rounds just keep nice and tight and let some of the steam leave O'Kane's work. It's pointless blasting back with him. You'll come off second, and then as the round progresses, then start trying to produce the cleaner boxing. If he gets involved with O'Kane straight away in every round, I think he'll be outstrengthed.
Yeah, tactically, surely you would think he's got to try and keep it at range, McDonagh. And it seems that O'Kane is looking to draw him into a war. Yeah, another decent shot downstairs from McDonagh to the midsection, and O'Kane head down, plough forward. Oh, that's another decent shot with left hand from McDonagh. The better work coming from the taller man here.
Yeah, well, I think he has the skills to outbox O'Kane, but he needs the punch to discourage him a little bit. And maybe he just found one a few seconds ago there. You've got to catch O'Kane with stiff punches. O'Connor trying to tidy things up. He maybe have a wee word with O'Kane about his head. He's been dangerous all night long with it. And obviously with the height difference, if he's dangerous in this one, McDonagh come off worse. Missing wildly, O'Kane.
Well, it really is agricultural stuff, and Terry O'Connor's having quite a conversation up there. The referee, and O'Kane continues just to charge in. McDonagh just turns in but can't press home the advantage. And he's in first. Again, decent combination, McDonagh. And now he's got him at range. But he doesn't want to be on the ropes against O'Kane, needs to get out of there.
Yeah, but he kept his defences intact, which is important. O'Kane really swinging so wildly.
Well, Barry McGuigan, you've heard him in the studio from the first fight. He was saying O'Kane's got to just straighten up some of these punches, but he's still just winging them in from all angles. And against this tall southpaw with the solid defence, he's not really getting much success. Now, there was a straight right hand that did get through. He is crude, isn't he? And it's McDonagh that's getting the lecture. He's doing everything now.
It's pretty hard to hold. Very strong idea. You've got to keep going forward here, this fellas. Just keep roughing up the snap. You keep that roughness going. See, that's a bit straight now. You just walk in that straight.
Well, massive support here for Eamon O'Kane as well. They're making themselves heard.
Well, I thought again, O'Kane was really crude, and the better punches, certainly the classier stuff, coming from McDonagh. So for the first round, you choose the work rate of O'Kane, or the better controlled boxing from McDonagh. Close round, I thought McDonagh, I was a bit more impressed with the quality of his work, but he's finding it tough.
Corners 10 seconds.
Well, at the end of that round, referee Terry O'Connor got himself in the middle of it all as well, and he gave JJ McDonagh quite a lecture between rounds there, saying if you don't stop this holding, I'm taking a point off. Didn't seem to be any warnings about boring in with the head towards O'Kane's corner, but so McDonagh now getting told off again and starting to complain back to Terry O'Connor, so this isn't doing him any favours at all.
I think he's a bit harsh. I think O'Connor has in his mind to be deducting points.
Oh, now a nice counter as O'Kane crudely stormed in. This is better stuff again from McDonagh. And he knows he's got the referee on his case as well. Look at this. Again, the quality work coming from the tall southpaw. The crude slugging coming from O'Kane. There's another straight right hand from O'Kane, though. That was really low. A really low shot. And maybe Terry O'Connor is going to finally say something to Eamon O'Kane.
Yeah, that one was away down in the thigh region. This is where McDonagh must find a bit more snap on the punches and stop this charge forward from O'Kane.
That's another one that was borderline there as well. And again, I don't know what's going on here. And nor does JJ McDonagh. Well, McDonagh's got to keep his cool here because he's got a charging opponent. And he's got a ref that's on his case as well, so it's really all stacked against him at the moment. He's got to keep that focus.
Yeah, O'Kane making an impression now. Still crude, but just his sheer strength getting him up close. And I think the warnings from the referee have affected McDonagh.
Well, it's every time he does something, isn't it?
I didn't see him doing anything wrong when you've been charged. The way O'Kane is charging, then you have to do something. It's only natural you're going to fall into clinches. O'Kane not allowing McDonagh to get the punches off now.
O'Kane shortening the distance between them. And again, both of them having a look at the referee.
Absolutely no quality in what O'Kane is doing. He's outworking McDonagh in this round, but absolutely no quality. I mean, this is as far from boxing as you can expect to find, just slugging, wild swings.
Again, another low blow, and that's two that Terry O'Connor has let slide by. He really is dipping deep into the box of tricks here, Eamon O'Kane. A little bit of everything now.
This is
being allowed to get away with it.
Yeah, I mean, this has developed into a complete mess, and really, so O'Kane is responsible for that.
And let's see what happens here, because I think McDonagh just decided he's had enough, and he's done onto O'Kane what O'Kane's been doing all night long, and he's now on very thin ice.
Well, that is obviously a final warning, although that wasn't for holding. I mean, I think that was for pushing him back against the ropes. But what are you supposed to do when an opponent is jumping at you? Yes, holding at the moment. Well, O'Kane wins that round just on sheer effort, but the quality in boxing, ability and skill.
You got one
Sorry,
fucking round.
I didn't notice any of those.
Hey, you got one round left. Shut up, man. Hey.
And they're just trying to get him focused. I mean, talk about the odds being stacked against you in that round. McDonagh just had everything going on, and here's Terry O'Connor again.
Yeah, they're complaining about the head. They're having a word with their referee O'Connor about O'Kane's head. And actually, all night long, O'Kane has been dangerous. That was a little bit brutal in the forearm, but I think that was as much frustration as anything else. So the referee was entitled, yes. I think that's a little bit of, well, I've had plenty, so here's some back. And we're all human. I find that a little bit forgivable. But I have it at 1 round apiece at the moment. I like McDonagh's cleaner boxing in the opening round, but the work rate and just the sheer volume coming from O'Kane, so I have it all square, dependent on the 3rd round here.
Well, McDonagh really needs to try and get that jab going again and just keep his cool. He doesn't want to get dragged into the gutter on this one. That's a decent start again from O'Kane, who is just brawling his way to this title. Unless McDonagh can do something about it in this last round. Where O'Kane wants him, of course, up close. He's not able to do much damage. It really is scrappy stuff. Solid defences again from McDonagh as O'Kane just battered away.
O'Kane just prepared to give a little bit more. You know, he's just putting a little bit more into it. And in a fight where there are virtually no clean punches landed, then work rate is probably the only thing the judges can base it on. And the work rate is coming from O'Kane, we have to say that.
It looked to be an awful lot of snap in McDonagh's work now. He had the short rest, remember. He was in that second semi-final. And O'Kane does have this ability to just drain the resolve from you. The stamina.
You can't fault his desire. He couldn't put any more into this, O'Kane. But really all 3 performances, skill-wise, have been a bit of a disappointment, but not short on excitement, that's for sure.
And this fight turned around though when Terry O'Connor really got on JJ McDonagh's case. He was looking composed up to that point. He was rattled after that. And again, put the quality where you can. The effort is first class from O'Kane, but he's throwing 5 or 6 and maybe 1's landing. He's still looking low as well. Terry O'Connor looks JJ McDonagh again. Bit of a coughing left hand getting through, and again it's O'Kane on work rate alone. He's probably nicking this.
Yeah, you got to say he's got himself in terrific shape, O'Kane. He hasn't stopped working all night long.
That was a low one in return, and O'Kane felt that one. He really did. And it was almost as if JJ McDonagh just said, you know what, I've had enough of this.
You know, you can actually hear that punch landing from all the way across the ring here. You could actually hear that that really was a solid shot. I mean, O'Kane wouldn't be playing a button that. But we actually heard the punch landing all the way across the ring here. So this could take a fair bit of time.
And we know what else is getting taken as well.
Yeah.
The point off.
You know,
surely settles that. But you know what? If you're going to dish out the rough stuff, you're going to have to take it as well. And still, JJ McDonagh, well, he's had his head turned around and not by O'Kane.
Well, that's probably cost him. I thought he was losing the round up to that point, but the point deduction has probably sent the trophy and the 32 grand home with Eamon O'Kane.
And there's surely far too little time left now for McDonagh to do anything about it, although he's giving it a real go here. It's been bad-tempered, it's been scrappy, it's been feisty. Again, a good left to the body as the last few seconds, but O'Kane just on hustle, and then that point, if there was any doubt about it at all, that surely has cleared it all up. I think the phrase "not one for the purist" is springs to mind, and they don't care one little bit here at the King's Hall. They've loved it.
Well, non-stop action, you have to say that about the whole tournament tonight. It has been non-stop action. We didn't get the quality. You can see him badly injured there.
That was right
just
on
at
the
the
bell.
end. That was exactly just right on the bell. We may not have had the quality we expected, but with bags of excitement, controversy in the final there, and I think that controversy, any doubts we had, I mean, you can see the corner kicking him a fuss. I think they felt referee O'Connor was on his case far too early, but let's face it, you couldn't argue with the low blow. It was powerful, it was bang on the painful region.
You could argue with consistency from the referee, though, because it wasn't just one of those boxers that was dishing out the rough stuff, and there was not a word to Eamon O'Kane.
Yeah, well, Eamon O'Kane has been boring in with his head down in the 3 contests tonight, and none of the referees have got on his case about it. But feel a little bit sorry for McDonagh, because he showed a lot of class tonight, a lot of skills, a lot of grit at the end up there, but I think it's just been turned against him.
Well, almost certainly it's celebration for Dungiven here in Prizefighter. Will it be celebration for Dungiven in our main event coming up? Paul McCloskey, Demarcus, Corley, don't go anywhere. Well, I think we're just about ready to announce this one.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you'll agree that was a thrilling final, and we now have our judges' scores. 30-27, 30-26, 29-27, all 3 judges are in favour of the winner, and the newly crowned Betfair champion from Dungiven, Eamon King But I'm sure you'd like to show your appreciation for JJ McDonagh.
They're dancing in Belfast, they'll be dancing in Dungiven as well. As Eamon O'Kane wins the £32,000. He'll be lifting the trophy, we'll see him do it after this short break as we build up to our main event of the evening. Paul McCloskey hoping to get back into world title contention as he takes on Demarcus Chop Chop Corley. That's on the way.
The defending champion chalks up a first victory.
4 races, 4 different winners. Now Sky Sports F1 brings you the Spanish Grand Prix, the channel for the full weekend experience. Keep up to speed with all the build-up on the F1 magazine show and all the action from live practice and qualifying, plus uninterrupted race coverage.
It's lights out and away we go.
The Spanish Grand Prix live next Sunday. Coverage sponsored by Santander. Sky Sports F1 HD.
At Wix, we're proud to give you 25% off all flooring, deck boards and tiles until Monday, 14th of May. It's got our name on it. Wix.
Brilliantly British, brilliantly refreshing.
Greg Townsend wrote on our Facebook wall, just bet against my own team. Feel a bit dirty, Paddy. Well, we hear you, Greg. But if the boys find out, you're in danger. You'll have to disappear for a bit. Your new name is Gregos Traitorelli. Here's your new house, your new wife, your new kids, your new car, and you now support Atletico Kebab. So bet against your team on paddypower.com one last time before your new life begins. We hear you, Gregos Traitorelli.
Again and again. It's a nightmare. Luckily, there are simple soluble weed killer sachets from Bayer Garden. Ground Clear and Path Weed Killer kill right down to the roots and prevent new weeds from growing, giving season-long control. Relax with simple soluble sachets from Bayer Garden. The end of your weeding nightmares. Ground Clear, Path Weed Killer and Super Strength Glyphosate by Bayer Garden. Also available in ready-to-use trigger sprays.
Isemiake Sport, the new fragrance for men.
P&G, proud sponsor of Mums.
Hostages taken.
My wife thinks that I killed my daughter, and you're gonna show her that she's wrong.
Life and death situation.
How many people we got in here? More than 100.
Time running out.
Let's hurry up, guys. He's lost his child, his wife, and now he's about to lose his freedom.
When all else fails, they can't.
Copy that, boss. We're on our way. Let's go. How do I know you're not gonna just shoot me the second I walk out the door?
The brand new season of Flashpoint, now showing only on Universal Channel.
New Carling Zest, a refreshing summer lager with a hint of natural citrus. Carling Zest, British summer bottled.
First ever prizefighter, Irish middleweight champion. Eamon O'Kane lifts the trophy, a very proud moment for him, and he's ringside talking to Ed Robinson.
Well, Eamon, 3 fights, 3 wins, prizefighter champion. How does it feel?
I'm delighted. I was very nervous whenever I got the phone call that I want to be in Prizefighter, and I thought about it for a wee while, and I said, you know what, that's my style of boxing. I says, we'll give it a shot, and I know it was risky for a fighter coming out of 4-0 and an unbeaten record. Not a lot of them enter. But I'm 30 years old. I wanted to jump into the fast track of fighting for titles, and I knew this was the way to do it, and I knew this style of boxing suited me down to the ground. So thanks very much to Eddie for putting the show on, and I'm delighted that I won it. I think it's shown by my enjoyment after each one that I was delighted that I'd won, because listen, each one of them lads were awkward, they were strong, they were durable, and it was going to take big performance for me to win, and I'm delighted that I've done it.
Are you happy to win a little bit ugly tonight? You put everything into it, but there's a few clashes of styles.
Definitely, you know, it seemed to be, whenever you look at the draw now, it was the fighters in the first half and the boxers in the second half, and I was wondering how I was going to be able to adapt from coming from the fighting into the boxing. And JJ McDonagh, a lot of respect to all the guys in here, because I thought the Prizefighter was even close the whole way through, and but delighted that I won.
How are you going to support Paul McCloskey?
Paul McCloskey's been a role model of mine since I was 6 years old. I looked up to him all the days. He's constantly, as an amateur, he's pushing the bar up higher and higher. Then British, European, fighting Amir Khan, which was a disgrace. But if I can emulate Paul McCloskey, it would be a dream of mine.
Well done, Eamon.
And Paul McCloskey against Demarcus Corley on the way, live to that 12-rounder, a light welterweight as Eamon O'Kane celebrates a terrific win. It was a dirty final though, wasn't it?
Yeah, awkward and untidy, but it was the only way that he could win. He had to fight aggressively, he had to back that big, tall, rangy guy, 4 inches of a discrepancy in height and reach. The only way he was going to beat him was to fight ugly and to come at him and to track him and try and catch him with those solid blows. But he was hurt himself a few times. He was caught with some good shots, and you know, JJ McDonagh is a very good fighter and he's got a future.
It started quite well. O'Donnell, you know, he was getting his punches off, and early on in the first round it looked as if he was going to be able to cope with the pace of O'Kane. But I think, you know, he started to get a few warnings for hitting low and for holding, and I think that knocked him off. You know, it was far away from the noble art.
Did that lose it for him?
Well, of course it lost. Well, I don't think it would have mattered, quite honestly. But I mean, he hit him very low there. I mean, and I know Eamon was hitting borderline with a few shots, but that was ridiculously low. I thought he deserved to win the fight. It wasn't the prettiest Prizefighter final, but nonetheless, it was effective, O'Kane's work, and he got the job done. And he's a really nice guy.
I think that's the important point. You know, whether it was attractive or whatever, it worked. You know, it worked for him. He did it. You know, he's very strong. He's very tough. He'll take a lot of subduing. You know, but I'd like to see him now, you know, move up in class. He knows this is a good way to get him into title fights.
He has to get a move on those. 30 years of age. He only had 4 pro fights coming into this.
Yeah, but I will say a word of caution. He needs to start applying himself in the boxing department. He needs to use his straight punches. He did it as an amateur. He needs to get back to that again and start being a little bit more polished and a little bit more technical.
Very busy and very dangerous division domestically. One of the stars of the division is with Ed.
Well, it was very messy, but Martin, did the right man win in the end?
Yeah, the right man definitely won. I'm happy for him and O'Kane tonight because he was the only one who went into every fight and treated it like the final. And you know, the right man deserved to win.
Wayne, Eamon O'Kane can box better than that, can't he?
He can box better, but it's a 3-round fight. You got to get in there and give everything. First fight was tough. Second fight, he got a quick knockout, and he won that fight pretty easily.
So he did what he had to do tonight.
He did. He had the best energy out of the 3 guys. McDonagh, he got tired real at the end there, and he's a lot of dirty tricks and stuff. So O'Kane was the best guy, and he won the fight tonight.
Martin, how good is O'Kane?
I think he's, you know, he's a good fighter. He had a great amateur background, and that's only going to stand him in good stead as a pro. He's got loads of learning left to do, and you know, I think he'll definitely be a champion in the future.
Thanks, gentlemen. Back to you.
Cheers, Ed. Now to our main event, an Irishman hoping to get back in the world title mix.
For Paul McCloskey, any slip-ups against tricky veteran Demarcus Corley would be disastrous.
He's been there, done it, and he may have lost a few times in the last couple of years, but I'm not going to underestimate him. If I do that there, then it's my own fault then, you know, so it's up to me to be in the best shape possible.
Beautiful shot! He won't get up from that! And Paul McCloskey becomes the European light welterweight champion!
The highly ranked Dungiven southpaw could be on the cusp of realising his all-consuming ambition, with his management hoping to deliver a world title shot later in the year.
Things aren't that straightforward in boxing. The belts are tied up. I can't sit around waiting for these things to happen. I have to just keep fighting and winning impressively and moving on as quickly as I can.
A contentious cut-eye defeat against Amir Khan is the only blemish on the proud record of the former European champion, and grinding out a desperately hard-fought victory against Bradis Prescott last time out only increased McCloskey's standing.
That night things didn't go to plan. I had to change my strategy early on. The start of that fight was atrocious for me. The knockdown and a few bad rounds after that there, so I had to go and just fight a completely different fight than what I'm normally doing, you know, so I had to just go and win the fight with pure heart that night.
The heat is on, and Doody is trained accordingly in John Breen's Belfast sweatshop for the eccentric Corley, who, whilst not the force he once was, is still awkward and dangerous when in the mood.
Floyd Mayweather, I had him, I let him off the hook. Miguel Cotto, I thought I was being smart by taking a knee, and they stopped the fight. I know I'm going to win the fight, and I know it's going to be by knockout. It's not going to go the distance.
For me, it's all about winning and getting on doing a job. I've got a job to do, and I'm focused on what I have to do, and I'm going to go and do it.
Demarcus Corley making his way into the ring. He's expecting a tough night. I think that's him anyway. I'm not quite sure, Barry.
Yeah, it'd be great if you could wear that, a crash helmet.
Never get knocked out, Glenn.
Fortunately, you have to take it off.
McCloskey hits hard, but I don't know if he needs that.
He's a real character. We'll talk more about Corley in a moment. Let's head behind the scenes. Paul McCloskey just going through final preparations out of what should be a fascinating fight, Barry.
Yeah, this should be a great fight. I mean, Corley's coming to the end of the road at 37, but he's really a tremendous puncher. He also has a great effectiveness against awkward fighters. We've seen him wobble Mayweather. We've seen him have Cotto out on his feet. He's a terrific puncher, and even in his last fight, he fought a Puerto Rican guy who was an up-and-comer who thought he got him at the right time, and he dropped him and beat him up on a decision. So he has lost a lot of his last number of fights against top people. Against Lucas Matisse, he was down 9 times, but he's a tremendous puncher, and if McCloskey switches off, he can really hurt him.
He's got a wealth of experience. I mean, he's been in with the top fighters, so really it's about what McCloskey can do here. I mean, he's going to try and really make a statement. This doesn't need to be a dull fight or a tough fight. He's got to stand out. You know, if he's going to get back into world title contention, he needs to do something special.
Well, Macaulay looks like he thinks he's in for a tough night. Will it be? Will McCloskey deliver in front of this Belfast crowd? Our MC is John McDonagh.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome home Paul McCloskey.
So Paul McCloskey continues to work his way towards another shot at the world title. And at this level, nothing comes easy. The man from Dungiven finds himself in a tricky place just at the moment. He's beyond British and European level, but not quite fully established yet at world class. He's a man on the edge. And when you're on the edge, one slip could prove so costly. There is no margin for error for tonight for Paul McCloskey. Terrific King's Hall welcome for him. He's seen his good mate Eamon O'Kane from the same town, Dungiven, prevail in Prizefighter. Those tactics aren't going to work against Demarcus Corley, that's for sure. And what a welcome. Corley still got the crash helmet on. That's not going to come off till the last moment. Well, let's take a look at the tail of the tape on this one. Demarcus Corley, been around forever. A month shy of 38 now. Not an awful lot in it. Corley has been pretty much the same weight his entire 16-year career. He really is an extraordinarily fit individual. Corley been around since 1996. 58 fights. He's been on the road a lot lately. McCloskey made his debut in 2005, and a very high knockout percentage for the Irishman. Well, that's how the bookies see it. Corley at 6-1, and Corley saw those odds earlier today and said, you know what, I'm going to put a couple of bob on myself at 6-1. Why wouldn't you? McCloskey an overwhelming favourite. Well, he's armed and ready. I'm not sure quite what that is.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event, the fight of the night. Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Sport proudly presents 12 rounds of international boxing, sponsored here by Betfair, Lonsdale and SportsDirect.com. And a very warm welcome to our viewers joining us live and exclusive here on Sky Sports HD. You've joined us for the very best ringside seat in the business. This is Fight Night Live! Two of the best light welterweights in the world assemble here to hit that #1 spot. All the officials have been appointed by the British Boxing Board of Control. Our timekeeper at the bell is Darryl Elliott. And our 3 scoring judges, Howard Foster, Mark Green and Terry O'Connor. And the man in charge, Mr. Ian John Lewis. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you firstly, fighting out of the red corner wearing the red trunks trimmed with gold, weighing in at 9 stone 12 pounds 2 ounces with a 58 fight record, 38 wins, 22 inside the scheduled distance, 19 defeats and 1 loss. Ladies and gentlemen, he comes to the ring as the former USBA and WBO light welterweight champion of the world from Washington, D.C. It's Chapter Demarcus Corley. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome home. He's fighting out of the blue corner with the black trunks trimmed with red. He weighed in at 10 stone and 1 pound with a 24-fight record, 23 wins, 12 inside the scheduled distance. He has 1 defeat. He's the former undefeated European champion and world title challenger. He is without doubt the fighting pride of Dungiven, Northern Ireland. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Duddy Paul. So sports fans and Sky Sports fans, here we go then, 12 rounds of boxing. Who will be crowned number 1?
I'm the referee. I spoke to you both in the dressing room. Obey my command at all times. You both done the rules. Watch the heads, hit the punches up. And when I shout break, you break clean. And remember, to defend yourself at all times, shake hands.
Well, what a night this promises to be for Dungiven and Paul McCloskey up against the wily old veteran Demarcus Corley, who comes in here with new life in his legs.
Second take, right away.
2 clever, crafty, cagey southpaws. You won't be at all surprised to learn that they're both fans of Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker, who wrote the book on clever, crafty southpaws. You won't be at all surprised if the opening exchanges are very sensitive indeed as they try and work each other out. And plenty on the line for McCloskey. They are continuing to work towards that second shot at a world title, but he's got to win here, and ideally he's got to look good here as well, and against Corley, that's far from easy.
Yeah, that could be the difficulty, looking good against Corley. But I mean, the older Corley's getting, the more he's standing his ground, and he's in better fights. When he was younger, he was cagey. He moved around a lot. So no, I think this could actually catch fire quite early. So you can see already they're both standing in range, trying to get the punches off. But you can see they're both cagey, both know what they're about.
Last time we saw McCloskey, he made that slow start against Brady's Prescott on the floor early. Lost his nose as early as round 2, but came on so strongly, showed a lot of guts and heart. A lot of people thought that Prescott had done enough to hang on, but it was certainly a very strong finish from McCloskey. And that was enough for the judges to see it his way. Maybe because he's seen that, Demarcus Corley has come in and said, there's no way I'm going to try and eke out a decision here. I've come here to knock Paul McCloskey out.
Nice defensive work from Corley. As usual, McCloskey's right hand carried very low. Just as I'm saying that, Corley lets the left hand go. That looks to me to be the punch.
A lot of probing. Much risk taking. Why would you this early? Corley effortlessly gets himself, just slides out of trouble. And gets away again, out of range. And McCloskey's going to have to be patient in this one.
Well, McCloskey doing the work in the opening round, but not landing with any really telling punches. But I'm sure he's learned already just how cute and cagey Corley is.
Rejuvenated after that win against the unbeaten prospect Gabriel Bracero of Puerto Rico. Had him down 2 or 3 times. Was on the floor himself late on. but had put enough points in the bank to get the win. That snapped a losing streak when he's been a bit of a nomad. He's travelled all around the world, Kazakhstan, Ukraine, he's been in the UK against Junior Witter, Argentina, where he had that nightmare against Lucas Matisse. Cagey first round, as we expected.
Yeah, I am a man, up in the air. And I run around this town and act like I don't care.
So, you were a man, but now you're a woman?
Yeah. Your mum was wanting me to be here.
Well, we don't want you here.
You're not my mother, Mia.
I know that, but I'm all they've got.
Good day at work.
Usual thanks.
Hit and Miss, this May on Sky Atlantic HD.
You're breathing with fucking breath. You turn the left hand to keep it straight. Don't be hitting it. You'll land. Every time you throw it straight, you'll land.
Left hand, you're right-handed.
Keep it as straight as you can.
John Green in the ring there. He's the man that runs Paul McCloskey's corner. The Irish boxing's had a long time. Knows his man very well indeed. Corley's up early. Ready to resume hostilities.
Seconds out. Round 2.
Not much to choose between them in that opening session.
No, not much at all, but McCloskey was a little bit busier, put a little bit more into the opening session, but punches landed not an awful lot to split them. Corley trying to snap the southpaw jab out at the start of the second round here.
It's nearly 11 years since Demarcus Corley stepped in at unfeasibly short notice. Picked up the WBO title. Felix Flores. And this is the man who's mixed it at the very, very highest level. Defended a couple of times, once against Randall Bailey, he can bang a bit. And lost it to Zab Judah, that's 9 years ago. Went the distance with Floyd Mayweather, shook him up as well. Hurt Miguel Cotto as well. Before Cotto hurt him. Just a handful of stoppages against Corley.
McCloskey has to be careful that he doesn't spend the night just being a little bit too predictable for this fellow. You're going to have to spring little surprises, show little feints. You're not just going to march forward and pin him on the end of that southpaw jab. That worked at domestic level for him, so a little bit more imagination is going to be required as this one goes along.
Clever from Corley, got his attack in, but blocked the attack from McCloskey. Interesting talking to Eddie Hearn the other day, and he agreed that McCloskey's really got to go out and prove that he belongs at world class, and a scalp like this would do that, because the Prescott fight, yes, he showed a lot of heart, yes, he finished strongly, but he certainly didn't dominate. And against Khan, yes, there was the stoppage, but he barely laid a glove on Khan. He really needs to make a statement to show that he belongs.
He's been clipped as he's coming forward now. He's missing, but Corley clipping him with little counter punches. Not a lot in the shots, but there you go. Nice little burst from Corley there. So as I say, can't afford to be predictable with this fellow. He knows all the tricks.
And getting through again with the left hand, Corley. Doing a good, solid defensive job as well. Around for Washington, D.C. Some of those jabs falling short.
Good work in this round.
Just clipped him again with one of those right hands this time.
And again, I'm just wondering how many southpaws McCloskey, because that's 3 times in the trot a southpaw right lead. It's caught him bang on. A little bit of damage to the nose, yep.
Just like he had against Bradis Prescott in round 2, the nose is in trouble.
Greg Townsend wrote on our Facebook wall, just bet against my own team. Feel a bit dirty, Paddy. Oh, we hear you, Greg. But if the boys find out, you're in danger. You'll have to disappear for a bit. Your new name is Gregos Traitorelli. Here's your new house, your new wife, your new kids, your new car, and you now support Atletico Kebab. So bet against your team on paddypower.com one last time before your new life begins. We hear you, Gregos Traitorelli.
No real sense that McCloskey was getting hurt in that last round, but he certainly was getting picked off, and some damage has clearly been done.
Yep, and if the nose damage is as bad as we think, a little bit of the forearm going in there.
Corners 10 seconds.
You see, that's all the tricks we're seeing, just a little bit of a forearm come elbow there. But the problem with that nose, if it affects his breathing, that's big problems this early in a fight.
Once again, Demarcus Corley making a little statement. 38 next month he may be, but he doesn't need 60 seconds rest. He's up and off his stool, just like he was at the end of first round for the start of the second. So some mind games coming from Chop Chop as well. And that blood continuing to seep from the nose. They haven't managed to stop it. That is messy. Through with the left hand, couldn't follow up with the right. Corley. And again, McCloskey's out of range.
I just think McCloskey's a little bit tentative the way he's throwing the punches. He's not throwing them with the confidence that they're going to land, and that's because of the slick moves of Corley. That was better from McCloskey. But he's going to have to commit himself when he decides to throw punches. He's going to have to throw them as though he believes they're going to land. And if he puts punches together, then that doesn't allow the counter to come back. But these single jabs, not wise.
Corley still looking very much like he's in his own comfort zone. Just picking his shots, trying to work on that nose, which really is messed up. Better from McCloskey, but look at the blood. It is just pouring out of the nose at the moment. A bit of chit-chat going on in the ring as well.
He's actually spitting blood out as well. I don't know if that's just it's running down from his nostrils and his breathing, but that really is a bad nose injury he's got there. That's problems, obvious problems in his breathing. He's not finding the target there.
He's getting through another right hand there, Corley, who said no problem earlier to McCloskey. He's got problems. Again, missing again. Coming in with the forearm, Corley. Referee Ian John Lewis letting that one go as well. He's happy just to turn the fist, isn't he, and get through with the forearm.
This may be another round where McCloskey hoping to win it on work rate. But he's been clipped with nice punches as he comes forward. There's that right hook lead again.
He looks sharper and cleverer, doesn't he, Corley, at the moment, for all this work rate in industry.
Yeah, McCloskey not really producing, doing pretty much the same thing. He's clipped again and again.
And that was more than a clip, that was a solid right hand followed up with a left as well. And Corley's finding his range and getting good success on a consistent basis, and again, he's wobbled that time. The warnings were there, and it's a right hand that's wobbled him right on the bell. And that was a pretty bad round by any standards. Well, the nose is a disaster at the moment, but his defensive work just fell apart the longer that round went.
See, I think he's too tentative. He's throwing leads but not committing himself, standing at the perfect range for a counter puncher like Corley to come back with his own shots. So big problems, and he was definitely shaken with the right hook in that round. So he's now find that Corley, as well as being awkward and cagey, he has the power to hurt him. All the quality shots in that round came from Corley. That was the shot. Yep, you could just see the little reaction, knocked him onto his heels, but it was too close to the bell to find out if any lasting damage. Big problems for Paul McCloskey.
Seconds out, round 4.
Yeah, they really are. And you made the point earlier, Jim, how many southpaws and decent southpaws has Paul McCloskey faced. And don't forget, for much of his training camp, he was preparing for Julio Diaz. So McCloskey, at 3 weeks' notice, knew he had to face Corley. Corley will step in at 5 minutes' notice, we know that.
See, I think adding to his problems, McCloskey likes to draw leads, he likes to counter-punch himself. He'll come onto the front foot But drawing mistakes from Demarcus Corley, not easy, and he's not making any. So nothing for McCloskey to pounce on.
Well, it didn't look too clever for McCloskey after 3 rounds against Brady's Prescott last time out in September, but he managed to turn that around. And again, he's just walked onto another right hand.
He's maybe just a little bit too amateurish tonight, McCloskey. You know, he doesn't have the look of a rounded pro, and still not committing himself to the attacks that he's making.
And they just can't do anything about that blood seeping from the nose.
That's better.
Corley with a look as if to say, is that the best you've got, though? Comes back with another one of those cuffing little right hands. And they've been there for him throughout this fight. Little glancing left hand from McCloskey. Corley saw it coming. That's better.
See, he has to commit himself.
But look what happens. As soon as he did get through with that right lead, he took a combination from Corley, who punished him for it. And there's another one of those swinging left hands.
See, McCloskey has retained a lot of his amateur style. He stands tall, he pulls his head back from punches. He's just doing that as I'm speaking now. So against Corley, who moves in with the shots, that's dangerous.
Yeah, his leads just not causing Corley any problems. He's getting caught with the counters. Anything that McCloskey does, any little success, they will get behind their man. But the veteran, 38 next month, just looking comfortable. That was a bit crude, really. Just threw another right hand there, and that got through.
There's a bit more upper body movement from McCloskey now, which is sensible. You can't march straight forward. But Corley again giving as good as he's getting. Tough to split them in this round.
And a couple of decent shots landed a few moments ago from McCloskey as well. Got through with the left and then a straight right.
Has to change the pace. This pace suits the almost 38-year-old Corley. What a battle we have here.
A right hand to the body shook him.
His legs are looking unsteady at the moment.
What a scrap, what a battle. And Khan's shipping punishment. This is unbelievable stuff. Khan finds a response. That's controversial.
Is this another point?
It is. Peterson senses he could finish this. Two terrific warriors.
And no,
he's done it, Lamont Peterson. He's turned it all upside down.
No doubt. Khan v Peterson. Sky Sports 1.
Let's go.
Demarcus Corley ready for action again. And he knows exactly where the target area is.
Yeah, that was a tough round to score, but the better punching, the hurtful punches were coming from Corley, with some good little bursts back from McCloskey.
Seconds out, round 5.
A little bit of success there at the end of that last round for McCloskey. Now, can he build on that? Can he keep some momentum going in his direction? Better work with the right hand again from the local man. Going to try and up the tempo here. Better upper body movement as well. Corley not able to pick him off, but still he's open. Those right hands again. The blood started already.
And that's the kind of amateurish mistakes I'm speaking of. He gets his punches off and then he stands there for the counters with his head held high. But again, the work rate is still good.
Well, he is sticking with it, and he's not allowing Corley to dominate these rounds.
Against a counter puncher, you don't want to be throwing single punches, single leads. You want to put them out in threes. Don't give them time to set up the counters. Trying to change the tempo a little bit, McCloskey, which is wise. Good job from him.
And again, the right hand. That is doing a lot of damage, that Corley right hand. McCloskey looking to try and pick his shots, and again he's wobbled that right hand. Done it again. Now the kidology begins, but the legs definitely buckled. And now Corley changes the attack again. Solid right hand to the body.
Well, I said twice, Corley has shown the power to trouble McCloskey, and again McCloskey does the silly things, drops the hands and tries to do the macho act. Not clever.
McCloskey responding as we've seen him respond so often to adversity, just upping the tempo, getting through with a right hand of his own.
It's been a decent round for McCloskey, apart from that little crisis there. He set a good work rate, he's putting punches together, but really his concentration, he has to keep his mind on the job. Always remember, this fellow can be dangerous.
And again, good defensive work from Corley, just getting the glove up. The first right missed, the second he followed it up. Corley, just keep him busy.
With over 500 casino games for PC, Mac, tablet and mobile, and £10 free when you join. Come to the home of casino, betway.com.
Sticking to the task, Paul McCloskey, keeping his work rate going, but paying the price every once in a while.
Yeah, well, I thought that was a decent round for McCloskey, but this is the stupidity he shows when he takes a good shot. You know, keep your mind on the job, and it really should be carrying that. That's the one that shook him up a little bit, and then the crazy response from him. Apart from that little crisis, I thought he boxed well in that round.
Corley was up early once again. He has been throughout the fight. Corley's got to be careful that he doesn't allow McCloskey to out-hustle him here, because the work rate, even if the quality isn't really there on a consistent level from McCloskey, he's keeping busy. So open to those right-hand counters.
Corley still has the speed with that southpaw right hand, and McCloskey dealt with that one well. To show little feints, just can't match straightforward into this guy.
Just missed there and got punished for it, Corley. No sign at all that McCloskey's managing to get Corley knocked out of this comfort zone that he's in at the moment. Decent jab coming in, trying to follow up again, but I think Corley just managed to block that one off. Right hook getting through from Corley. Well, it's settled down into what we thought it was going to be. Cagey, tricky.
The better punches at the moment coming from Corley.
That was better from McCloskey. Can he keep the pressure on? That's a little bit better. And then he just sits back and allows Corley to find a response. And that's a decent response. Good combination from Corley. A little warning from Ian John Lewis to keep the punches up.
And again, the poor defence of McCloskey. more aggression from Corley now. Is he going to start trying to push McCloskey onto the back foot?
Well, there is this risk, isn't it? If you allow McCloskey just to pour forward, there is a chance that that's going to catch the judge's eyes. You just get the sense that Corley is barely moving through the gears at the moment, getting through once again and just pot-shotting away, the right hand coming through, and again the defences for McCloskey falling apart a bit.
He's not really putting a dent in Corley, that's the problem. I mean, Corley's still looking as comfortable now as he was at the first bell.
That was a solid looking left hook right on the bell as well. Well, there's not been much for this King's Hall crowd, which is at near capacity, to get excited about. Demarcus Corley just been picking him off. Pretty much as and when he wants.
Up and down with your jab. Pull him in the head, send that 2 over top.
Yep, another round with the punches that you remember seem to come from Corley. Good body shot, and against a 38-year-old, that might be a plan. Corley 1 point up at the moment. A lot of those rounds are close. I scored some of them to McCloskey for the work rate, but he's not really getting a chance to produce the quality that we expect from him. Corley, very difficult man to deal with.
Corners 10 seconds.
Yeah, in terms of punches landed and success percentage, nothing, very little to choose between them. And this is where Corley's got to be really, really careful. He's in the other guy's backyard, and McCloskey is definitely working the harder of the two. Never mind the actual quality, he's keeping busy, and that's keeping him right in the middle of this. Very finely balanced, this fight between two capable counter-punching southpaws.
I think a worrying thing is the fact that Corley still looks as though he could step up if he decides to. It was better.
And that was much better. Solid right hand, and the chit-chat continues.
See, that's what I'm thinking. A 38-year-old at that stage of your career, you're not doing the groundwork that you used to do to toughen up the midsection, so I wonder if McCloskey can work the body a little bit more, but still the defence is letting him down.
Better again for McCloskey. And now it's Corley's turn to do the shrugging and saying, no, that didn't bother me. But it's McCloskey that's doing the eye-catching stuff here in round 7.
He needs to bring his left hand into play a bit more, lead with a jab and come back.
Looking to up the tempo as well, McCloskey, just trying to turn it up a little notch. Better defensively, and then catches him with the left hand. This is better for McCloskey.
Well, now he's throwing punches with a little bit more confidence. Took a good right hook again. That's the danger shot, and again.
Been there all night for him, hasn't it?
The story was that Corley has put £2,000 on himself to win this, and he wanted to put a further £1,000 on to score the knockout. That's coming from his camp. I don't know how true it is, but you can see why. Another solid shot from him.
It really was, and again, it's the danger right hand. Better from McCloskey defensively. He's taken some solid shots in this round.
See, McCloskey produces some good work, and his concentration seems to let him down, and his defence is scattered. I mean, a lot of good work in this round from McCloskey, and he allows himself to be pulled into little crises.
McCloskey getting through with a single right hand. Really looking to try and find a response.
That's better, but he has to keep his concentration. He wants to tighten his defences. It's probably too late to do that in his career. But his concentration, he has to work on that. But I did enough to nick that.
Demarcus Corley walks back to his corner. very, very happy with his night's work so far. Let's see how Tyrone Jones feels about it.
You're pulling him over to your left hand. He can't see it coming if you just let it go. Chop, you're pulling over there. Crack. When you pull back, it's right there, baby. It's right there. You can't see that motherfucker coming. Now, after you touch him with it, dig that motherfucker right up under the gut.
McCloskey produces some good work. Then you think, right, he's going to get things under control. Working the body, which I feel is a real good idea against Corley. But then he seems to lose his concentration. He starts taking back shots he shouldn't be taking, but a lot of good work in that round from McCloskey. But we need that, and we need the concentration to match.
Well, Corley's ready.
Right in.
You just get the sense that Demarcus Corley needs to start finding something a bit extra, because McCloskey, we saw against Prescott, really poured it on in the latter stages after a shaky start when he was on the floor and had his nose broken. And it was enough to catch the judge's eyes. And he's clawing his way back into this. Corley said when he came in, no, I'm in his backyard. I've got to bring my levelers with me. I've got to knock him out.
Double him with a jab there, which is working. As I keep saying, single punches no good against this cagey fellow. Double up, bring the left hand into play.
Just another big uppercut there, McCloskey.
Yeah, but at least he tried something a little bit out of the ordinary. That's what's needed here, a bit of imagination. Show little feints, good defensive work there from him.
Yeah, it's been a while since Corley's had a lot of success. The defensive work, apart from the little laps that you talk about, has sharpened up from McCloskey. He was wide open for the first 3 or 4 rounds. He's looking to just get through with single shots. Around their counters. And McCloskey looked out of the ring there. Let his concentration wander for a moment. And here comes McCloskey trying to turn it up a little bit. Corley staying with him.
Well, another round where he's produced good work, but he must stick with it now. Don't lose his grip on this.
Tough round to score though again. All the hustle coming from the Irishman. Better again from McCloskey. And Corley not doing a lot in this round.
The trouble is when he goes to work, there is real quality in his punches, but I just don't feel he's doing enough. But there's always the danger. I mean, he's shown a couple of times he can hurt McCloskey. Nice little burst there from McCloskey. This is better.
Well, he's starting to find a bit of rhythm, McCloskey, isn't he? And Corley has been missing a lot more than he was earlier in the fight.
But he's still living dangerously, McCloskey.
The scales might be tipping.
He's keeping the tempo up, which is good. And that, for me, that's winning this round for him. He's sticking with the job. That was a good round for McCloskey.
Clawing his way back into it, that's how we're seeing it. What about the guys in our studio? Barry McGuigan, how are you seeing it so far?
And I think he's just beginning, like you say, to get back into the fight again and get a little bit more confidence. But this guy, Demarcus Corley, is in a remarkable shape for a 38-year-old. He's so dangerous. He's not just a puncher, he's clever too, and he's setting things up. So McCloskey's got to be careful the whole way through the fight, but he's beginning to get back into it.
Glenn McCrory, would you agree? Is McCloskey getting himself back into this?
I think he is. I've got McCloskey a couple of rounds up. I think the work's good. You know, the concentration for the most part is very good, and he's letting his shots go well. Every now and again, he just, you know, the defenses slip, and you know, he makes himself look quite amateurish. But he's just got to keep the concentration, keep doing what he's doing, up in the tempo.
Corners 10 seconds.
Yeah, thanks very much indeed, guys. You're so right what you said, Barry, about Demarcus Corley being fit. He basically has been at this weight his entire 16-year career, and he thinks he could drop down to 135 and still be comfortable at it. But let's see who can find the afterburners now, because we're down to the last 4 rounds of this one. Not much in it, whichever way you look at it. McCloskey ahead for you now, Jim.
Yeah, I have him 1 point up. He's doing that in work rate, and the fact now that he's changed the tempo of the fight. He was boxing at the wrong tempo for the first 6 rounds. And there are signs that Corley's slowing down. He's still dangerous, there's still quality in the punches that he throws. But I think there's a fair old dip in his work rate. So things looking good at the moment for McCloskey, but then you see things like that happening.
Yeah, the openings are there for Corley, but he needs to just really start up in the work rate and matching McCloskey for work rate alone, and it seems unwilling to do that, or maybe unable to do that on those aging legs of his. Flicking up his right hands. That was a better response from McCloskey, who knows what his management team are working towards. Talking to Eddie Hearn, they were talking about the dream is that Danny Garcia faces a Jose Oleshugan for the WBC title, and if Oleshugan wins, they'll try and bring him here to defend against McCloskey. It's also talk that he might face Manuel Marquez in Dallas as well. That's a less likely option.
I mean, you have to ask, I mean, let's analyse McCloskey's performance. I mean, world-rated fighters handle this fellow, Corley. So, unless he really begins to take charge in the last third of this fight, big questions, you know. Could he win a world title? Makes a lot of basic mistakes, not a great defence. So really we're expecting him to take charge in the last third of this.
And this is still the question over Paul McCloskey, isn't it? He's moved beyond British and European level, where he was unbeaten, but has he quite made that step up to world class yet? A lot of people said he didn't beat Bradis Prescott, although he got the decision.
And he didn't really put an awful lot into his challenge against Amir Khan. He seemed to be boxing behind Khan. So really we want to see him really produce the goods. To his credit, he's been boxing with a badly damaged nose for about 11 of the rounds tonight, if this goes all the way. And he is beginning to produce. He's changed the tempo, he's lasting the pace better than Corley. So, but winning it purely on work rate, you want to be doing better than that against a 37, almost 38-year-old Corley.
Corley has basically maintained the same pace throughout. Nothing seems to have bothered him. Certainly nothing seems to have troubled him, but again, he's just stepped up the tempo enough, McCloskey here, to just keep picking him off.
That's good, the body shots too, but want to see more of those. That's more like it from McCloskey.
And a sneer of almost contempt there from Demarcus Corley as he went back to his corner.
Yeah, back. Yeah, forward. Forward, sorry, please. Not come through them. Tommy has it. Hey, Tommy. Tell your shots for him. They want to hook up. I can tell you to put him in the gap. Pop, pop, pop. Tommy gets a bit of grease up there.
No, McCloskey, he's taking charge a bit more, and it's the first time I've used that phrase tonight, which is good. He's using the jab well, but look at the defences here. Look where his hands are. I mean, these are basic mistakes you should not be making at this level. And you have to wonder, for proper world level, is he just a little bit too easy to hit?
Goddamn, you start coming. You act like a wild man in this motherfucker now.
Apologies for the language, but Tyrone Jones trying to light a fire under his man. It's gone by pretty quickly, this one, hasn't it? Two fellas, similar styles. Round 10, the early rounds belonging to Demarcus Corley. The bigger and better and stronger work rate and effort coming from Paul McCloskey the longer the fight's gone on. And now you just get the sense that Corley's got to make some kind of statement here.
Well, McCloskey showed last time out against Prescott that he can dig in, he can stand the pain of a badly damaged nose and just grind out a result. Well, we want to see him do it again tonight. He's never really gotten Corley under control, so he's just going to have to do it on work rate, just sheer drive.
Right to the body from Corley. Has to switch it to a left there, and as he now starts to attack the body after McCloskey targeted it towards the end of the last round. Good upper body movement again from McCloskey, just rolling with those punches. And again.
Corley trying to raise his game a little bit.
And a left hook from McCloskey. Just under the short rib. Better again from McCloskey. Corley looking to try and find a response, but the quality and accuracy that we were seeing from Corley earlier is not there now.
And he's never sustained any attack. We've seen little bursts from Corley, but we've never seen him sustain. Obviously, at this stage, in this age he's at, I can't expect too much of him, but he's putting up a terrific show here. But maybe just been outworked again.
Decent jabs getting through from McCloskey, but then right hand again from Corley. McCloskey was just wide open to those right hands earlier. You just feel that if McCloskey had worked it a little harder in the earlier rounds, this could have got very interesting, especially as he seemed to just wobble him a couple of times.
We've mentioned some names recently. One Manuel Marquez. Can you imagine going into Marquez?
Oh, good right hand. McCloskey, though, has soaked it up. But again, wide open to it, just as you mentioned, Manuel Marquez. What on earth would have happened if Marquez had landed that?
I'm just saying, can you go into a fight like that with that defence? I mean, that's terrible.
He's all over the place again. And John Lewis has stood in and what's going on here?
He stopped
Has he stopped it?
I don't believe this.
Well, he seemed to step in and he has.
He can't.
He has. That's unbelievable. That is incredible.
I do not believe this. He was hurt by the punch. He was on his feet. He was looking straight back. And that was not a decision by Ian John Lewis. That was a reaction. He jumped in. He didn't think. He didn't have a second look. I cannot believe the stoppage there. And I think once he jumped in between the fighters, the referee had put himself in a spot where he had no option. He had to stop the fight. He probably didn't want to stop it, but the fact that he jumped in between the action, he had no option. He had committed himself and he stopped the fight.
He made his move, hadn't he?
But he must know that should never have been a stoppage. Never should that fight have been stopped. He was hurt. There's no question about that. But this is the hurt business. You have to give a fighter a chance to deal with a big shot. So here we'll see the punch. That one was low, bang, now that was a good shot, he was hurt. But look, he's looking straight back, he's looking straight back at Corley, waiting to see what's coming next. The punch hurt him, but it didn't put him down. He's looking straight back at his opponent. Bang, okay, a big shot, and it staggered him. But he's jumped in. He was staggered, you can see the legs, the effect in the legs, but at this level, virtually a world title.
He seemed to be caught in two minds, didn't he, as well? Did he wave it off or didn't he? And then he decided yes.
He was hurt, there's no question. McCloskey was hurt, you could see the legs, the effect in the legs, but that's what boxing's all about. You have to give a fighter at this level a chance to see, can he cope with it? Look, he's looking straight back. And he's saying, I'm okay, but I think by that time Ian John Lewis had jumped in. So the move had been made, and I think he was stuck with the decision they made.
Oh, and what a decision as well. We won't know. We will never know what would have happened now. But Ian John Lewis has effectively destroyed Paul McCloskey's hopes of a world title fight.
I mean, if you look here, I mean, you do see the legs have done a dance here. You know, and he's jumped in. He saw the legs doing a dance, and he's jumped straight in, probably feeling at that second that he was doing the right thing. He was hurt. There's no question. He was definitely hurt. But a fight at this level, you have to give a fighter a chance to see. He'd been hurt before in the fight and he coped with it. But there you go, dreams are in tatters.
And this crowd stunned into silence. What an extraordinary and what an unsatisfactory ending as well. Yes, he was hurt. Yes, Corley could have gone in for the finish. But his powers of recovery are good. We know that. We've seen that before.
I mean, there was a reaction in the legs, you have to say that. Ian John Lewis was behind them at the time. There was a reaction all the way down to his boots. He was really shaken up with the punch. But at this level, you have to give a fighter a chance to see if he can cope with it, deal with it, and get himself back into things.
Well, what a night of disappointment for Paul McCloskey. Just when it looked like he was turning it around, And certainly the guys upstairs saw him getting back into it, but Demarcus Corley is the man that's smiling now.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Dale Elliott, our timekeeper, has recorded a time of 2 minutes and 28 seconds of the 10th round. Referee Ian John Lewis has stopped this contest with McCloskey in no position to continue. Your winner from Washington, USA, Chop Chop, Demarcus Corley. Let's show our appreciation, please, for today, Paul McCloskey.
Well, the cheers for McCloskey, the boos for Corley, and Demarcus Corley almost breaks into a smile there. You can see the disappointment on the face of Paul McCloskey, and why not? We'll be analysing exactly what Ian John Lewis was doing and the fallout from this with Barry McGuigan and Glenn McCrory in just a moment. Let's talk to the boys now. Barry, what on earth was Ian John Lewis doing, stepping in between the fighters there?
Well, listen, you know, let's not. Jim was maybe a little harsh on Ian John Lewis. His job is to protect the fighter. McCloskey was badly hurt several times through the fight. His nose is broken, obviously, and he was very badly shaken. If we look at that slow-mo again, what happened? His legs were all over the place. He seemed to be badly hurt, but you know, I still think it was a controversial stoppage and coming close to the end of the round, you know.
Well, let's see what the fighters think about it. Talking to Ed.
Well, Paul, you're obviously devastated. What went wrong?
Being honest with you, I can't say. It's about too soon to try and figure out what the problem was there. I was pretty flat. I felt great before the fight. To be honest with you, my training went well, and I felt great in the build-up to the fight. So I'll have to sit down and try and figure out what went wrong, you know. I have to give this man a bit of credit. We didn't take him over here thinking we had a handy fight. He's a quality operator. His record might tell different stories, but he's a quality fighter. This is his last chance to learn for this fella here, you know. So he come and gave it everything, you know. He caught me a good shot. I felt I could have fought on, but obviously from the outside looking in, I may not have been able to. But every fighter thinks he can fight on, you know. So I'm gutted. It was a massive setback for me. So I'll just have to sit down and see what happens here. I've got a family to worry about now. I'll sit down with my family, we'll chat about things, we'll see where we go from here, you know. But I'm gutted. The sport's been amazing. I'm sorry to all the fans out there. I would love to put on the displays that are worthy of coming to see, you know. So hopefully next time we'll see something bigger and better.
Demarcus, congratulations. First of all, what did you think of the stoppage?
The referee thought it was a great stoppage. He saw Paul wobbling, but I don't think Paul was really completely out because he played possum. He do that wobble and he make you think that he's hurt, and then you run in there and you get caught with something. So I really didn't want to take a chance of running up on Paul while he was like that.
Well done.
It seems to be blaming the play acting earlier on in the fight for the referee stepping in. Got a point.
I think he was really badly hurt. I think he was hurt. I think Ian John Lewis was expecting him to make a reaction, put his hands up, to look as if he was alert enough to come back, and that never came. And I think, you know, just judging by McCloskey's body language, he's still in the daze, you know. He was hurt, and I think, you know, he didn't argue, he didn't come back ferocious argument. You know, he took it lamely. I think, you know, that punch was a very good punch, and it was on the cards throughout the fight. Every now and again he'd drop his hands, and it's such a shame because he was on his way to a good win.
Yeah, it just looked, if you see broke away here, he hit him with that punch so often, but this was a terrific shot. When this last shot that just rocked his head, shook his head and shook his brain, he was very badly hurt. That one there, look at where his legs are going, they're all over the place. He's about to fall over.
Ian John Lewis is looking for a reaction. He's gone between them. He's looking for a reaction from McCloskey, and the reaction doesn't come,
exactly.
does it?
He's looking for a reaction to say, I'm okay, I'm all right, I'm ready to go on. He was so badly hurt, he didn't know, he sort of half raised his hands up.
Stumbling backwards.
Yeah,
he's stumbling backwards as the referee's walking towards him.
And he did look right into his eyes, didn't he?
Of course, and listen, the bottom line is, I thought that was a safe decision to make. At the end of the day, his job was to protect the fighter, and he was badly hurt on a number of occasions. I thought he was beginning to win the fight and come back, but he left himself open to that right hook over and over again, and he was very badly hurt there. And the referee to take into consideration all of the previous times where he was rocked and hurt, nose broken, and he had to take that into consideration. And I thought, whilst it was a controversial decision, he may have done the right thing.
It was all set up for a night of celebration for McCloskey. The prize fighters, the warm-up, and
it was all going. It was going the right way. You know, at times he looked, you know, a little iffy. He got caught with a silly shot, but you know he was persistent in his attacks. He was good. He showed good mental strength. Everything looked on song. You know, just this little chink in his defence that he kept getting hit, and then he got hit with a very good shot. And for me, he was out of it. You know, he wasn't there. The reaction didn't come of a fighter that was still okay. The body language wasn't there.
What about Corley? Nearly 38 years of age.
This guy is absolutely remarkable. Remember what he done to Mayweather. Remember what he done to Ricardo. They both got through it. But McCloskey, let's not forget, in his last fight against Bradish Prescott, he was rocked to his boots on so many occasions, very badly hurt, nose broken and shaken. And again during this fight, maybe we've seen the best of Paul. You know, he's such a lovely guy, and it's so disappointing for all his fans, but maybe we've seen the best of him.
But he should have done better against somebody like Corley, shouldn't he? We were expecting a lot more, and he's getting stopped. You know, and you've got to look at Corley's road. He got a good win last time, you know, but before that he's lost to everybody, you know, midways up the rankings. Anybody any good he's lost to. So this is pretty much a shocking defeat.
Can he bounce back from it?
I hope so. He's such a lovely man. He's got incredible support. I really said he was flat tonight. He couldn't understand why he was flat. I just hope he can come back.
I hope he does too, but it'll be difficult to lose like that when he looks at it against a 37-year-old. It's going to be tough.
Glenn Barry, cheers for your company. Misery for McCloskey as he's cut down to size by a man called Chop Chop. See ya.
Watch all 6 Sky Sports channels on your mobile and online.
Tomorrow, live football. Newcastle, Manchester City at 1. Manchester United, Swansea, 3:30. Both on Sky Sports 1 HD and 3D. And Monday, Blackburn, Wigan at 7 on 1.
This is Sky Sports, your home of sport.
There's a new way to rent movies instantly. It's called the Sky Store, and it's open to Sky TV customers with Anytime Plus. Rent many of the latest blockbusters at the same time as DVD release.
What secrets do you hold?
Or pick from a huge library of all-time favorites.
I feel the need for speed.
All available to rent instantly. The Sky Store, available now through Anytime Plus.
Brilliantly British, brilliantly refreshing.
A Tempur mattress lets you find your most comfortable position and supports you there, giving you a feeling of complete weightlessness and the best night's sleep possible. To choose your perfect mattress from our new collections, visit Tempur.com.
With a flash, he changed direction, his body's up in the air. It was like a right foot with an explosion, but the beauty of the dance.
Every goal, every game, every Saturday. Your goals pull out in Saturday's Sun, now only 50p. She has the code.
Whatever she's got, I want it.
He is the key.
Now you're dealing with me.
Safe in cinemas now.
Create your own website with One-on-One. Whether you're a hairdresser, an accountant, or a photographer, choose from over 120